Alright, another burnt. Oh man. Same opponent. After I lost 0-2 that one, I was like, let's try another one. And and I tried to not keep according to knowing that they're on burn, but either way I would have kept this hand. It's pretty good with the whir and the spyglass to turn on opal. Brutality's good. It's just all around good. Opponent keeps a good hand. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage. Yeah, now go ahead and stirrings now. And a bridge. Huzzah! Unfortunately, my next artifact I draw is an opal. If it would have been, something else that would have been useful. So I see their hand, and the only real things to name here are either Wooded Foothills or Scalding Tarn. I'm guessing they have more Wooded Foothills than they have Scalding Tarn, so I name Foothills. Taking some damage. Now I draw another artifact, so I'm good to go. Go ahead and play that bridge. And I'm really hoping to draw another land here. Instead I draw an opal, or not an opal, a bauble, which is just as good, because now I can whir for a Witchbane Orb. And Witchbane Orb game 1 with the bridge out is pretty good. Yeah. In response to that Helix, I go ahead and whir for the Witchbane Orb. And that's game. Like right now, that means that all they got left is they got to try to kill me with Eidolons, and I'm holding that brutality just in case of that. So they just draw dead cards. I go ahead and whir now, and I whir for 3 because I always whir for more than what I would need to, just in case. Go ahead and get a lantern. Opponent's going to draw a whole bunch of dead cards. I mean, so am I at this point, but my cards are more alive than theirs. Oh, yeah, and I forgot. Now I have the lantern locked because I have Pixis. And sack my bauble to draw extra since I see discard on the top. So it doesn't really matter what I grab here, but I grab Bolt just because it's the overall better burn spell. And it's relatively easy to keep them off of any business at this point. Witchbane Orb, being able to whir for Witchbane Orb just, it's so good now. They do still have Bloodstained Mire that they can use to try to control their top card, but so I go ahead and stirrings now and grab a Shredder. I try to do, if I have one that mills both, I try to get one that mills the other. If I have one that mills one, then I try to get one that mills both, so I balance it out. Go ahead and whir again. And I whir for 2 here. I probably could have whirred for 4 here just to mess around. But I whir for 2 so that I can do a Spyglass to shut off the Bloodstained Mires. Yep, get rid of that Eidolon. And now it's pretty easy just to, control the game and win it on out. An opponent doesn't want to concede, but it's fine. It's their prerogative. Grab another mill rock. So it's a pretty solid lock. An opponent keeps pausing during the draw phase as if I'm going to let, mill something. The only thing I care about milling here is Eidolons, which, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've gotten 3 out of their deck. Is there one in the graveyard? Negative. So they have 1 more Eidolon in the deck. I believe it's their last card, too, if I remember correctly. Milling. Mill the last 3 cards, and there it is, the last Eidolon. Mill that, draw, and opponent concedes. Game 2. This looks like a pretty sweet hand. They mulligan to 5. 4. Yeah. Double Eidolon is pretty good. And they put an island on the bottom, which is kind of interesting. So now I should have a turn 2 bridge. I'm surprised they didn't play an Eidolon. Yeah. Crap. So now, take some damage. And I'm hoping to be able to use my Shredder and Baubles to draw into something good here. I can whir here and get good stuff. Unfortunately, the drawing double whir was super unfortunate here because I can only play 1, so I'm going to take 4 damage from these guys. So I go looking for a lantern. I was thinking about going for a Witchbane Orb, which in hindsight maybe that was the correct choice. It would have saved me 3 damage. And yeah, I think maybe in hindsight, yeah, Witchbane Orb was probably correct, because then they would have had to deal themselves 5 damage in all, or kill one of their Eidolons for me. Yep. I'm like, well, man, that's rough. Hey, Junebug. So we're for the Witchbane Orb. Hope to draw land. So I'm good, but now any spell I play is going to kill me. So if I had word for a Witchbane Orb, it would have saved me 6 damage. Yeah. And I probably would have just won this game. So that was a misplay on my behalf. So now I'm stuck at 1 mill rock trying to... I can't even kill these guys unless I draw an Engineered Explosives, which I sided out. So I am forced to draw nothing but lands for the rest of the game somehow. Which, really in hindsight, like I should have known at this point that I've lost the game. The other out is if I get Inventor's Fair. So I'm just milling myself, trying to stay on lands, and it's working. Still on lands. So mill. Yep. And at that point I'm like, I've lost. Like, maybe I could have shuffled and gotten an Inventor's Fair, and then I probably would have been okay, but... So game 3. Get a ley line. Woo. Pretty good. Yeah, opponent targets themselves to deal extra damage with the Swift Spear. Is that right? Let me see that. Target player. Yeah, they can target themselves with that. And I top deck a Lantern. Sweet bejeebus. And now and it's a super slow clock with the Swift Spear. I'm at 15 life. All I need is a bridge, or Brutality, and I win. Now, they could try to shuffle their top with their fetch lands, but and I'm trying to mill myself best I can to, or at least find some way to secure the lock if I can. I think when I milled this, they probably should have cracked a fetch to save it. There's a bridge and a Brutality. So I have Brutality first, just to make sure they don't have destruction for it or any extra destruction, even though I have Jar. I take the Charm because they can make something indestructible. The other modes don't matter. And that's game. Now I've got the lock. Yeah, so they shuffle their top card after I try to mill that Eidolon. End up milling something dumb instead. End up getting another Eidolon, so they crack another fetch to save it. There we go. We're on top, so things are going to get even better now. And I think maybe they should have not used that fetch this time. Maybe save it. Even though I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm about to draw a Whir, so... Yeah, just Whir for another Mill Rock. In hindsight, maybe I should have gotten a Pixis instead. And my opponent keeps pausing during their draw phase and upkeep to, basically asking if I'm going to mill. So I tell them straight out, like, as long as it's not an Eidolon, a Molten Rain, Stony Silence, or Ancient Grudge, I'm fine. I'm pretty sure they don't have anything else. Go ahead and set Engineered Explosives on 2, just in case an Eidolon does slip through. They go to shuffle, and to save the Eidolon in response, I mill with the other one to make sure I get the Eidolon in the graveyard. So fetch happens, and then another mill. And then I go ahead and Whir. And get another Mill Rock. And really, that's game. I know I can just safely mill now. Again, I grab the Charm because of the indestructibility thing. Opponent just starts killing themselves now. And I'm trying to kill them before they kill themselves, but they're a little bit too quick. So yeah, burn 2-1.